We had done some of these things last time, but we'll quickly run through them again. Then, sighing to her touch, this soft-winged sleep rose hovering from his flower-like lids and flew murmurous away, flew murmurous away. Sheer poetry. So what he says now is, sighing to her touch the soft-winged sleep. Satyavan is as if he was asleep, light sleep. And with the touch of Savitri, that sleep flew away from his eyes. Well, actually, it was not really such a soft-winged sleep. It was a fairly heavy sleep. The entire weight of darkness was there in his eyes. The entire weight of death was there into his eyes all the while, you see. But when he comes back, all that heavy weight, that leaden weight, that has disappeared and it has become soft. It has become flower-like. It has become delicate. It has become sweet and charming. That is what actually it means, sweet and charming, you see. And therefore it flew away in a happy way, in a murmurous way. Flower-like lids. See, you can't imagine Satyavan's lids at that point would be flower-like, see, that heavy sleep, you see. But that is the kind of a change which has taken place in him after coming back to the earth, seeing death. And what he remembers is only the latest part of the dream. Rose hovering from his flower-like lids and flew away, murmuring away, flew murmuring away. Awake, he found her eyes waiting for his, obviously, and felt her hands and saw the earth, his home, given back to him once more, and her met his again, his passion's all. Savitri is his passion's all. She has become now his once more. There was that shadow of death who had intercepted between them and snatched him away from her. But now she is back to him. And here, awake, he found her eyes waiting for his. Which means basically that before Satyavan wakes up from his sleep, Savitri is already back. She has already come back to the earth consciousness. Savitri is already alert there in the physical form, you see. It is then, afterwards, it is Satyavan who comes to, so to say, life of the earth. Savitri is already back before he becomes alive once more. In fact, the description which we have towards the end of book 11, 156.9. Amazed the headlong rapture of her fall. So the fall itself is very rapturous. She is coming back from heaven, falling. It's a free fall, coming down. Held like a bird in a child's satisfied hands. In an enamored grasp, her spirit strove, admitting no release till time should end, and as the fruit of the mysterious joy, she kept within her strong embosoming soul, like a flower hidden in the heart of spring, the soul of Satyavan, drawn down by her inextricably in that mighty lap. So she is bringing down the soul of Satyavan. And when she comes down, it is at that point that soul will enter into his body. Invisible heavens, in a thronging flight, soared past her as she fell. So as she's coming down headlong, the heavens are going one above. All the hierarchical worlds are climbing up one above the other. Then, in other words, the passage back to the earth is through all those planes of consciousness. She is coming down from Sachidananda plane. Then, of course, there is the overmind, there is the intuition, the illumined mind, the higher mind, the mental, the vital, the physical. One by one, all those planes are there. She is coming back to the earth, you see. And all those heavens are climbing up as she is coming back to earth. Lost in the giddy proneness of that speed, world sinking, overcome, she disappeared like a leaf spinning from the tree of heaven. So she is falling down like a leaf. In broad unconsciousness as in a pool. And then a hospitable softness drew her in. Hospital softness drew her in. That is what you got here. Soft wings, sleep, you see. Drew her in. And to a wonder of miraculous depths. Above her closed a darkness of great wings. So it is not those great wings now which are hovering on the eyes of Satyavan, on the lids of Satyavan. And she was buried in a mother's breast. So she has come back first. And then it is Satyavan who is waking up. That is the sequence. Therefore, naturally awake, he found her eyes waiting for his, and felt her hands, and saw the earth his home given back to him once more. With his arms encircling hold around her locked, a living not to make possession close, he murmured with hesitating lips her name. So he is really hesitating. Such a great lady. Can I even call her? Can I approach her? Can I be close to her? With hesitating lips. Whence hast thou brought me captive back? Love chained to thee, and sunlight's walls, O golden beam, and casket of all sweetness. So she is a box of jewelry. And what is that jewelry? All loveliness, sweetness, beautiful things of life. She is that box of jewelry. And casket of all sweetness. Savitri, Godhead and woman, moonlight of my soul. Moonlight who gives joy, calm, peace. That is what Savitri is, you see. Well, actually, it is good to collect sometimes all the attributes of Savitri which we see described in different places in different way. See, in different places in different way. Here, she is the sunlight, she is the golden beam, she is the casket of sweetness, she is a Godhead, she is a woman, she is a moonlight. So like that, in different contexts, you have different attributes, qualities of Savitri, you see. This is a very beautiful example of the whole sweetness which is there after their coming back, you see. For surely I had travelled in strange worlds by thee, companion, a pursuing spirit together. We have disdained the gates of night. This is what we were talking last time. We have disdained the gates of night. I had turned away from the celestial joy and heavens insufficient without thee. Now, this man is claiming that I have turned away from the celestial joy. He really didn't do anything. It is Savitri who brought him back, you see. But he is a very heroic person. He is asserting that it is he who turned away from the celestial joy. Now, basically, the point is very important point also. Well, Savitri is fighting with death. She has vanquished death. Well, Savitri is fighting with transformed death, that is Supreme Himself. She has won over him also. And what she wants is, she wants the soul of Satyavan for the soul of the earth. She is not interested in staying with him in heaven. She is not interested in staying with heaven. She wants that soul of Satyavan for the soul of the earth, so that this divine work can be done on earth with their souls together. With their souls together. Now, all right, it may be the will, it may be the demand, it may be the insistence of Savitri. I want the soul of Satyavan back for the earth. She cannot do that unless Satyavan also says, yes, I would like to go back. His consent is needed. She is not taking it granted that he would give the consent. He has to give the consent to what Savitri is proposing. See, after all, his soul is also an independent soul. And he can say, Savitri, if you like, you can go back to the earth. I am very happy now here in heaven. I would like to stay here. You can go back and do whatever you like, you see. I mean, that is definitely an option for him. But he does not exercise it. He consents to what Savitri is proposing. Although he is not uttering by word, he is not saying in words. But unless he consents, this cannot happen. And therefore, together we have disdained the gates of night. I had turned away from the celestial joy. You could have gone back, but I also want to go back. What for I want to go back? That is another matter. Maybe I would like to go back because you are there on earth. You want to go back earth, therefore I would also like to go back to earth. It could be that, or it could also be that it is they together who had to do the work on earth, and that realization is there with him. That understanding, that implication is there. He is not going back to the earth for the sake of his beloved. There is a work to be done together on earth. And therefore, he wants to go back also. He consents. The consent is there. Otherwise, Savitri cannot force it. He may like, she may like, etc., etc. So, I had turned away from the celestial joy. Although he has not spoken anywhere, it is understood. And heaven's insufficient without thee, obviously. Now, let us say something what we have in the 11th book, previous canto. The very first section, sorry, the first line of the 150th section. He said, descend to life with him, thy heart desires. That is the boon she is getting from the Supreme. Yes, you want Satyavan for the soul of the earth, go back to earth. And then we have got again here certain attributes of Satyavan and Savitri. Who is Satyavan and who is Savitri? Oh Satyavan! Now, see, the Supreme addressing first not to Savitri but to Satyavan. See, this poor lady, she has struggled, done all that thing. The Supreme is clever. He says, see, oh Satyavan, oh luminous Savitri, I sent you forth of old beneath the stars. It is I who had deputed you to go to the earth to do my work. To do my work. I have sent you, I have deputed you for that purpose. Both of you. And of course, how? Savitri comes. Savitri is always luminous. Not so Satyavan. Oh Satyavan, oh luminous Savitri. It is not, oh luminous Satyavan, oh Savitri. See? Obviously, because he has taken upon him, the shadow of death. The shadow of death is constantly there in him, around him, surrounding him. And therefore he is not luminous. He is covered by the shadow of death. The doom followed him like a shadow. Love followed him like a shadow, with a shadow, death. That we have right in the first canto of Savitri. Earth, love and doom. Therefore Satyavan, you see, the poet is very particular, very clever also. He doesn't say luminous Satyavan, because the shadow of death is there always around him. Now the shadow has gone away. He is in the grip of death. That's what we got, Satyavan. Oh Satyavan, oh luminous Savitri, I sent you forth of old beneath the stars. Means since the beginning of this creation, of this evolutionary process, you have been there together all along. And you have been there always together. Dual power of God in an ignorant world. Now, of course, he says, I sent you forth of old beneath the stars. It is the Supreme Himself who has done this. He has deputed Satyavan and Savitri. But actually, how? It is Supreme Himself who takes the plunge into the void when the four powers separated away from the divine origin and the horror of separation was seen. To redeem that horror, it was the divine himself who had plunged into the void and stabilized the void. Now, that divine's plunge into the void at that point, that is Satyavan. He is Satyavan. He has been sent there into the void right from the beginning. In other words, the Supreme Himself has stationed Himself into the void. And Savitri, of course, she condescended to pass to the portals of the birth, that is the death. To redeem, to relieve Satyavan from the grip of death, She has taken the mortal birth. She has taken the mortal birth. A dual power of God in an ignorant world, in a haste creation shut from limitless self, bringing down God to the insentient glow, lifting earth beings to immortality. For what has sent this dual power? To lift earth being to immortality. That is the purpose of their coming, of the dual power. In the world of my knowledge and my ignorance, where God is unseen and only is heard and named, and knowledge is trapped in the boundaries of mind, and life is hauled in the drag net of desire, and matter hides the soul from its own sight. You are my force at work to uplift earth's fate. I have sent you for that purpose. I sent you for that purpose. You are my force at work to uplift earth's fate. For that purpose I sent you. Myself that moves up the immense incline, and it is I who is now climbing up the ladder of immortality. Between the extremes of the spirit's night and day. So, who is Savitri? She is his force at work to uplift earth's fate. And then, who is Satyavan? He is my soul that climbs from nascent night to life and mind and supernature's world to the supernal light of timelessness. And my eternity hid in moving time. Eternity hid in moving time. That is what Satyavan is. Eternity hid in moving time. And my boundlessness cut the curve of space. Basically, he is my soul who climbs to immortality from night. It climbs to the greatness it has left behind, and to the beauty and joy from which it fell, to the beauty and joy from which it fell, from the transcendent. It accepted this condition. To the closeness and sweetness of all things divine, to light without bounds and life illimitable. Life illimitable. Shivananda is particularly fond of this adjective, illimitable. There are, I think I have counted somewhere, there are 19 occurrences of this word illimitable in Savitri. 19 occurrences of illimitability. We have already seen once after, we see them again, you see. Taste the depths of the ineffable sublime. See, he doesn't say limitless. See, illimitable has a different shade of meaning. It is not limitlessness. Taste of the depths of the ineffable sublime. Touch of the immortal and the infinite. And then he says, he is my soul that gropes out of the beast to reach humanity's heights to use and thought. That is the soul of evolution. He is what he is. And the vicinity of truth sublime. And then he, the Godhead, growing in human lives. Again, the evolutionary soul. And in the body of earth beings formed, he is the soul of man, climbing to God. In nature's surge out of earth's ignorance. So that is what Satyavan is. The soul of earth, the soul of evolution, on the way to immortality. And who is Savitri? Oh Savitri, thou art my spirit's power. You are the force, my spirit's power. The revealing voice of my immortal word who puts things into expression, which gives a concreteness to form. That is what the word is, concreteness to form. She is the one who gives shape, concreteness to the spiritual things. The face of truth upon the roads of time. What a lovely description this is. She is the one who is shaping the whole movement of time itself, pointing to the souls of men, the roots to God. While the dim light from the veiled spirit speak falls upon matter stark and consciously, as if a pale moonbeam of a dense glade, and mind in a half-light moves amid half-truth, and the human heart knows only human love, and life is a stumbling and imperfect foes, and the body counts out its precious, precarious day. You shall be born into man's dubious hours. While all that happens, you shall be born into man's dubious hour, in forms that hide the soul's divinity. That is the ultimate objective of Savitri taking the mortal birth. Form that hides the soul's divinity. It is that soul's form, that divinity which is there in the soul. It is that which will become concrete, which will become material. Which will become material. And show through veils of the earth's doubting ear my glory, breaking through clouds of sun, or burning like a rare and inward fire, and with my nameless influence fill men's lives. Etc., etc. It goes on. So that is what Satyavan is doing silently. He is the soul of man climbing up from inconscience to immortality. So when he says, I have turned away from the celestial joy, I have turned away. Obviously, he has been here climbing up from nations, from the night of the earth to the everlasting day. I have turned away from the celestial joy, and heaven is insufficient without thee. So that is the kind of silent work which Satyavan is doing since of old, since things started growing from the inconscience. The whole course of evolution, it is the burden of that evolution. It is that he has been bearing in his soul. In his soul. And now, coming back to the story, you see, so to say, where now has passed that formidable shame, he has a recollection of the dreadful face he was seeing, the way he was being dragged to the realms of night. Formidable shape, nobody could defy, which rose against us. Now again, this is something too brave of him. In fact, which rose against us, it was the death of Satyavan, in fact. It was never the death of Savitri. The formidable shade did not rise against Savitri. The formidable shade had taken possession of Satyavan, not of Savitri. Never of Savitri. He cannot, in fact. Against us, it only means that tremendous identity of their souls. Whatever is experienced by Satyavan, it is the same experience. Whether Savitri really dies or not, that is immaterial. But all that which happens to Satyavan, she experiences it. she experiences it. Formula shape which rose, that is the identification, identity of their not just consciousness, but of souls, of the soul, identity of the soul. Well, this is exactly what happened in the case of Mother and Shivandu. The identity was so much that whatever Shivandu experienced, the mother at once felt it. At the time of his passing away, the union was so intimate, so inalienable, unbreakable, that she could have disappeared with Shivandu at that moment of time. Nothing could have held her back. Nothing could have held her back. Although Shivandu had told her, you will have to do our work, you will have to stay back. But their identity was so much that she could have just vanished along with him. The psychic oneness was so powerful. It is at that time we see really something great. Mother had told Pranab, who was attending her all the while, not to leave her even for a moment alone. And for 18 hours, 20 hours, 22 hours, he was constantly with her. She says that otherwise my psyche would have simply merged into Shivandu's and gone away. Some kind of thing was required to hold her back, and she reposited all that power in him to hold her back. In that sense, I will say, there was something greatly occult yogic in him to give our mother back for us. Something great about him, which rose against us. That is the identity they had. So when Satyavan is dying, it is Savitri who is experiencing and feeling all those things. The spirit of the void. So, who is that formidable shape? It is the spirit of the void. In other places, he embodied nothingness. He embodied nothingness, which rose against us, the spirit of the void, claiming the world for death and nothingness. Oh, there you are, claiming the world for death and nothingness. The spirit of the void. Now, there is a very subtle difference. Formidable shape, embodied nothingness, and here the spirit of the void. It is kind of a concreteness, spirit of the void. Now it is the spirit of the void who is claiming the world for death, not for himself. And then of course nothingness. In other words, the one who had come to take away the soul of Satyavan is the spirit of the void who picked it up for death, on behalf of death. It is he who picked up the soul of death, a soul of Satyavan. And what does he do? Of course, his whole purpose is denying God and soul. Or was all a dream Now Satyavan is giving a few alternatives here. See, we have here basically formidable shape, embodied nothingness, spirit of void, death, spirit of void claiming the world for death and nothingness. And his purpose is to deny God in this creation. So he's asking, where is that form now? Where is that person who had come here to do all that? Savitri. As if he knows that, now this human Satyavan knows that this Savitri knows it already, who had come. He has an idea and Savitri has knowledge about all that. Denying God and so on. Or if what I am saying is not correct, is not true, is an imagination, is it a dream? Was I simply dreaming in my sleep? All those things. Or was all a dream? Or all was a vision? Seen in spiritual sleep, that I had fallen in a sleep, in spiritual sleep, and I was seeing that as a vision. In fact, he is not able to yet get down to what exactly had happened to him. Was it a dream? Was it a vision? Was it a symbol that he has not been able to yet recollect fully? Because it is a kind of a sleep. When you are coming out of the sleep, you don't recollect everything, all that thing. Or a vision seen in a spiritual sleep. But this will not happen to Savitri. This is happening to Satyavan. This will not happen to Savitri. Because it is he who had fallen asleep. She has not fallen asleep at all. So was it a dream? Was it a vision? Was it a symbol? Or was it a mind-lit beacon of significance in some stress of darkness lighting on the way? Was it a beacon light which is lighting the path in the darkness? He sees the entire tract of darkness, and it is through that he sees some kind of a light moving, that person. He is giving all the alternatives. A dream, a vision, a symbol, a beacon, in some stress of darkness lighting on the way. Now this is a very beautiful way of saying something very significant. He says, beacon in some stress of darkness. Stress of darkness, stress. It's the most beautiful word. He doesn't say something different, The entire poetry, the entire occult power lies in a single word, stress. Everything is as if gathered together into that density of darkness. And it is through that the beacon of light is being shown. Normally, you don't use the word stress in this sense at all, as a noun, you see. In physics, stress is force per unit area. Force per unit area. Means you have got an area, so much of force is acting. So that is what we define as stress, you see. And it is the stress which produces strain, deformation, change, you see. It is not that. Stress is a very beautiful word, most inspired. And no conventional dictionary meaning will be able to tell what it is describing here. Beacon of stress in some stress of darkness. Stress, it is the stress of darkness, you see. Or, so he's giving all the alternatives. He is not able to make out what it was, you see. Or guiding a swimmer to the straits of death. So narrow passages of water from one big ocean to the other big ocean, separated by a Strait of Gibraltar, going from Mediterranean to Atlantic, or something like that. In some, or guiding a swimmer to the straits of death, or finding straits of death. It's not one, many. Or finding the succor of his ray in a gully with the crowded straits of chance. So the drainages, the passages through which there, is it through that I am passing? The soul that into the world adventure came. Now that is what he knows. What is the soul here? It is the soul who had come here into the world to experience a new adventure. It is for that purpose the soul has come. The soul that entered the world adventure, the world itself is an adventure, and it is to experience that adventure. It is for that the soul has come. And what is that soul? The soul is a scout. The soul is a voyager. Soul is a scout. Now, scout is one who goes and explores the enemy camps. It is for that purpose the soul has come. Now, that is the kind of definition which Satyavan is giving here for soul. For Satyavan, the soul is a scout. In the present context. Why? Because it is he who has been exploring the kingdoms of death. He had been taken away, his soul, and what is he doing there? He is scouting the realms of death. He is exploring whatever death is going, but he is also seeing all those details of the place to which he is traveling. His soul and a voyager from eternity. Well, he has given so many alternatives, he is uncertain. You see, he is uncertain. Because he is still kind of half asleep. And I don't know, even if he wakes up fully, whether he would be able to recollect everything the way in which Savitri would. You see. He would not. And then naturally, Savitri replies, but she replied, our parting was a dream. We are together. We live, O Satyavan. He has said here, no? You have brought me chain, love chain back, you see. And then she is dismissing all that he was speaking. She says, yes, forget about it, it's all over, dream. It's no more there at all. It's not a reality at all. What do we have reality? We see now the green land, the bird, the river, the mountains, the whole world luxuriously spreading around us. Look around thee and behold, glad and unchanged. Now, this lady says unchanged, but it has not really remained unchanged. It has changed. After that event, things have changed. Glad and unchanged, our home, this forest, means the enduring nature of this creation is there with a different significance. Unchanged in that sense. This forest with 1,000 cries and whispers of wind among the leaves, and through rifts in emerald scene, the evening sky. So the sun is setting, and to the openings the trees, the beams are coming out. Emerald scene, the evening sky, God's canopy of bloom sheltering our lives, and the birds crying for heart's happiness. So she is seeing a very happy, beautiful, sweet picture all around her. It is an evening picture. Now, how exact it is physically, I don't know, but it is like that for her now, you see. Vain poets of a solitary reign. Now, these birds, who are these birds? What are these birds? They are the poets. They are singing the ballads of our victory, of our triumph, of what we have won. They are singing the ballads of our triumph. The winged poets, birds, of our solitary reign. Now she says, our solitary reign, yes, this new creation where we are around now here. And in this world, in this kingdom, these are the birds who are singing our glory, our triumph, our greatness, so to say. Our friends on earth, where we are king and queen. Only our souls have left death's night behind. Change our mighty dreams reality. So, what has really happened is this. What has really happened is our souls have left behind death's night. This is really what has happened to the entire episode. So it is no more now that night which is covering us, that night of death. Now, what has happened is we have opened ourselves to death's day. Death's night has gone away. We have opened ourselves to death's day. Death transformed, the glorious death. The Supreme Himself, who had taken that form of darksome death, He has now become Himself, and it is day. We are now left to Him. Only our souls are left death's night behind. See, he simply says, he doesn't say, only our souls have left death behind. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. It is not this. It is not this. Only our souls have left death behind. Pardon?
What's the difference? Death's night or death?
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. See, this is very significant. It is suggestive of death, something which is glorious. It is the aspect of the Supreme Himself for a certain purpose. And that aspect of the Supreme as death in the nature of night, it is that which has gone away. It does not mean that the aspect of Supreme as Supreme in the form of death has gone. Death has become now a transformed being, the Supreme Himself. He had put on Himself the appearance, the shape, or whatever you want to call it, of night. The Supreme had assumed that night. Now, of course, this won't do. Only our souls have left death behind. I could have said this line is metrically short of half a foot. Metrically, this line wouldn't do. Only our souls have left death behind. It is crying for half a foot. It is only 4.5 feet, you see. So metrically, this is not acceptable at all. But if I want to really make it metrical, I could have said, only our souls have now left death behind. And I could make it metrically perfect by adding here. No, metrically this is perfect. Only, that is the talking, our souls, I am, and now I am, left death, spawning, behind, I am. I could have done that. Metrically, it is not therefore for the purposes of meter that is putting death's night. Here only our soul have left death's night behind. That is only again talking our souls have left death's night spawning behind. Metrically is perfect, you see. But the occult connotation which is there in this is totally lost by simply saying only our souls are now left death behind. It's a very poor line from the occult point of view. In terms of the occult substance, this is an extremely rich line. Change the mighty dreams reality, illumined by the night of symbol worlds, and the stupendous summit self obtained, and stood at God's gates, limitless free. See, here he says limitless, he doesn't say illimitable. Then, filled with the glory of their happiness, they rose and with safe clinging fingers locked, hung to each other in a silent look. So, in a kind of an amazement, wondering at each other, they are coming closer yet. But still, Satyavan is not happy, satisfied. He wants to keep on saying something. But he, with a new wonder, see that new could have been there, see, with a new wonder in his heart and a new flame of worship, in his eyes, she has become the goddess of adoration, Savitri, worship. And he is wondering at Savitri. He is not satisfied with all that she says. What high change in thee! He has at once realized that Savitri is no more that old Savitri. Human Savitri is now, after that spiritual experience of that realization, is somebody else. That is the illimitable change, what we have seen earlier. The illimitable change has taken place in Savitri. Here he calls high change. That illimitable change we have already seen earlier. $157.5. Here it is a high change. What is that illimitable change? Let us see again quickly. 157.5. Human she was once more Earth's Savitri, yet felt in her illimitable change. What is that change? A power dwelt in her soul. too great for earth. The power in her too great for earth. Bliss too large for heaven. Light too intense for thought. Love too boundless for earth's emotions. That is the inevitable change which has taken place. Power too great for earth, bliss too large for heaven, light too intense for thought, love too boundless for emotion. That is the great change which has taken place in Savitri. What high change! So he's seeing something with that high change. Is in thee, O Savitri, bright ever thou wast. Yes, I know. You have been always beautiful, brilliant, bright, shining, lustrous. A goddess still and pure, yet dearer to me by thy sweet human part. It is that which is endearing to me. You had taken the human form. You have accepted human condition. You have taken upon you all the sufferings, all the travails of this earth, all the emotions, all the joys, all the sweetnesses of the earth. It is that which is so loving to me. Earth gave thee, making thee yet more divine. That is what has happened in the case of Savitri. Savitri is the divine goddess. But after winning this victory, Savitri has become more divine. The divine can become more divine. Because it is the new discovery of the divine in the mortal world. That the mortal world can become divine. The mortal world can become divine. That is a new discovery. And therefore more divine. You are already divine, but now you have become more divine. Earth gave thee, making thee yet more divine. So this is not just a kind of praise theology series. These are things also. My adoration mastered, my desire bent down to make its subject, my daring clasped, claiming my body and soul, my life's estate, rapturous possession, love's sweet property. So this is what she is. Love's sweet property, see. That is his possession. A statue of silence in my templed spirit. What a description. A statue of silence in my templed spirit. So I have become a temple. And in the temple, in the sanctum sanctorum, is your statue. It is your statue which is installed in this temple which is I am. A statue of silence in my temple spirit, a yearning Godhead and a golden bride, both simultaneously. Yearning Godhead and a golden bride. Now here we have got the reversal of description. It is Satyavan who has become the shrine for Savitri. He has become the temple. And in the temple is housed Savitri as the goddess. So Satyavan is the shrine for Savitri. In the second canto, the issue, it is the other way around. She is the perfect shrine for him. She is a perfect shrine for him. Savitri is the perfect shrine for God of love. That God of love can go and reside happily in that luminous shrine. Who is Savitri? But now here it is reversed. After that great experience, it is she who has become the goddess in him as a shrine. A statue of silence in my tempered spirit. But now thou seemest almost too high and great. You have become so lofty, so limitless change has taken place. You have become unapproachable. You have become too distant for we small little creatures. But now thou seemest almost too high and great. Of course, he says almost. You see, for mortal worship. Yes, what can mortal do? Nothing. We say we worship gods, goddesses, Shiva, Durga, whatever we want to call it. We are devotees of Mother and Shiva. What devotees? Nothing. We cannot even do that. Too great for worship. We have to develop a sadhana of a kind by which that worship, that devotion is really acceptable for them. Simply going and praying at samadhi, well, okay, it's all right, but that is not real worship. For mortal worship, we have to develop that intensity of sadhana, of aspiration, that it reaches the God of worship, whom we worship. For mortal worship, time lies below thy feet. So she is now who makes time move with the feet. Time lies below thy feet. She is the queen, the master of time. All the moments are under her control. Time is a person. It is time now who is worshipping this goddess who is eternity. She is in the temple tower there. She is in the temple there now as a goddess of eternity. And it is time to go there and offers worship to her. Time lies below thy feet. And the whole world seems only a part of the love in her was wider than the universe. Only part of thy presence, the hushed heaven I inhabit. And thou lookst on me in the gaze of the stars. So wherever I go, you are looking from every place, every nook and corner of this creation at me. Thy presence, the hushed heaven I inhabit. And thou lookst on me in the gaze of the stars. Yet art the earthly keeper of my soul. You are so far away, but you are still keeper of my soul. My life a whisper of the dreaming thoughts. My morns a gleaming with the spirits of wing, and day and night are thy beauty part. So that is the kind of praise Satyavan is offering to Savitri. See, it is a most wonderful thanksgiving speech offered by Satyavan, made by Satyavan to Savitri. This is what you are. It's really a thanksgiving speech. But now thou seems almost too high and great for mortal worship. Time lies below thy feet, and the whole world seems only a part of thee. Thy presence in hushed heaven I inhabit, and thou lookest on me in the gaze of the star. Yet art the earthly keeper of my soul, my life a whisper of thy dreaming thought, my morn a gleaming of thy spirit's wing, and day and night are of thy beauty part. It's a real thanksgiving. There cannot be anything more beautiful than this. Hast thou not taken my heart to treasure it? See, in the secure environment of thy breast, all that I have been saying, are you not holding back, holding in your deep soul in the breast? Awaken from the silence and the sleep. I have consented for thy sake to be. Now again he says, I have consented for thy sake to be. See? 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 Without that consent, she cannot bring him back. He has to say, yes, I will come. It is required, it is necessary. It is the occult law.
But she was not aware she was doing it.
She cannot, if he does not give consent, she cannot pull him back like that. No.
But he wasn't even aware of what was going on.
No, when he is the transcendent, at that time, she is praying for this, and then he says, okay, oh Satyavan, oh luminous Savitri, go, etc., etc. See? By thee I have greatened my mortal arc of life, but now far heavens unmapped infinitudes, thou hast brought me thy illimitable gift. This is one of the 19th illimitable, see. Illimitable gift. Here you got illimitable gift. Earlier we had got illimitable change. If to fill these thou lift thy sacred flight, my human earth will still demand thy bliss. Yes, all those spiritual glories, spiritual joys, beatitudes, etc., etc. Okay, okay, okay. But all that I want, he is here for the earth. My human earth will still demand thy bliss, not the lower vital, but the human earth. That is what I want. Make still my life through thee a song of joy. Make still my life through thee a song of joy. See, what a monosyllabic line, insisting upon every word. Make still. See, normally there should be stress on make. But here, make still my life to thee a song of joy. Perfect iambic. The stress does not fall so much on make. Make still. It's not like that. Make still. Make still my life to thee a song of joy. And all my silence wide and deep with thee. And in response, Savitri, a heavenly queen consenting to his will, she clasped his feet by her enshrining hair. That is most typical of the Indian bride. It is she who surrenders to him. She clasped his feet by her. She is bowing down at his feet. She is his queen and all that, goddess. He is worshipping her so high. But this great lady, she is bowing down at his feet, and all her hair are now scattered on his feet. You are my God. This is what happened many times in the case of mother. The way she used to bow down and worship Sri Aurobindo. Many times she used to simply lie prostrate at his feet. First day itself their meeting, first itself. And then on another occasion, when Sri Aurobindo had sent his envoy to Delhi to accept the fifth proposal in 1942. He has sent specifically his envoy, but it was rejected. Sri Aurobindo has told the leaders at the time there through his envoy to accept the fifth proposal. It was rejected. And when Sri Aurobindo knew about it, came to know of it, that it was rejected, mother of course knew. Mother simply laid herself entirely at the feet of Sri Aurobindo. Lord, you alone can save the country. Save the country. Save the whole thing. She stretched herself. They do not know what wrong they had done at that time. She clasped his feet by her enshrining hair. Later on, of course, in their evening meetings, evening talks, when somebody asked him why this was not accepted, Sri Aurobindo's proposal to accept this mission, he said that I have done my Nishkama Karma. Nishkama Karma. A job, a work, which does not demand the fruit of work. That is Nishkama Karma. I have done my part. It has its own occult power, occult content, and it will work in its own way. Now, through a long process of time. What would have been there immediately, that is now going to take long centuries to get done. And we are suffering for that. So when a yogi goes out of the way like that and makes a suggestion, advice, there should be an implicit faith in accepting him. We are not open, we are not prepared our souls for that kind of a thing, and therefore we suffer. She clasped his feet by her enshrining hair. So this lady must be really very beautiful girl, long hair flowing all around, and now all the hair are scattered on his feet, you see. Enveloped in a velvet cloak of love, and answers softly like a murmuring lute, all is now changed. He talks of illimitable change. Yes, it has occurred. All is now changed. That illimitable change has taken place. Yet, all is still the same. You do not know the meaning, the power, the content of what is there around. They have acquired now a new significance, new value, new preciousness to move forward in the possibilities of the spirit. That is what has happened now, new change. Lo, We have looked upon the face of God. Now she says, you see, we. We have looked upon the face of God. Our life has opened with divinity. That is exactly the fruit, the reward of Savitri's work. That life has now opened to divinity. Until now, it was shut off from divinity because of the presence of death's night. It was shut off until now. But now our life has opened with divinity. We have borne identity with the Supreme and known His meaning in our mortal life. Known His meaning in our mortal. He has created this mortal world not for nothing. It has a purpose of manifestation through the mortal scheme to grow, to expand. Our love has grown greater by that mighty touch. Obviously, yes, we are loving each other, but that love, in a certain sense, was not great enough, was not powerful enough, was not adequate enough to hold the divine content in it. Now it has become greater because we are seeing the Supreme in front of us. It is the Supreme who has made our love greater. So there is no question of my not be with you. See. Our love has grown greater by that mighty touch and learned its heavenly significance. Yet nothing is lost of mortal love's delight. Obviously, it is not that this mortal creation is to be disdained. That love has to be found in this mortal creation. That love has to be found in this mortal creation. That is important. That is the whole purpose. The love in the mortal creation may be inadequate now. It does not mean that it should remain always inadequate. Now that inadequacy has been removed and it has now learned the heavenly significance. Heaven's touch fulfills but cancels not our earth. In fact, that summarizes the entire spiritual history of mankind. This line, heaven's touch fulfills but cancels not our earth. The dichotomy between spirit and matter, which had been haunting all along through the centuries, it is that which is dissolved, either earth or heaven. The materialist will say earth. The ascetic will say, forget about that, this poor little world, go and live there. But it is that which is going to fulfill even this. Heaven's touch fulfills, but cancels not our earth. In fact, that is the motto of the integral yoga. So if you want to say what is integral yoga, it is given in one single sentence. Earth, heaven's touch fulfills, but cancels not our earth. That is the entire summary, that is the quintessence of the integral yoga. Our bodies need each other in the same lust. Now this is a very difficult line. See, I will come to that. Our bodies need each other in the same lust. We need each other, physical to physical. Still, in our breast, repeat, heavenly secret rhythm. Our human heartbeats passionately close. Still am I she who came to thee with the murmur of sunlit leaves upon this forest world. I am the Madran. I am Savitri. That is exactly what had happened a year ago. I had come here, who came to thee with the murmur of sunlit leaves in the morning. That is how we met, early morning. Upon this forest was here, in this place, the destined meeting place, the place of destiny where he got revived also. It is here we are met. Still, who came to thee with a murmur of sunlit leaves upon this forest world. I am the Madran. Yes, I am that human. I am still this belong one to earth. Madran, one who belongs to earth, comes from Madra country. I am Savitri. All that I was before, I am today still. Close comrade of thy thoughts and hopes and toils, all happy contraries, I would join for thee. All the opposites will disappear. All sweet relations marry in our life. I am the kingdom, even as thou art mine, the sovereign and the slave of that desire. See, this is what she is simultaneously. She is Dasi and she is also Rani. She is the servant and she is the queen at once. I am the sovereign, I am your slave. You command, I will do. Thy prone possessor, the sister of thy soul, and mother of thy wants, thou art my world, the earth I need, the heaven my thoughts desire, the world I inhabit, and the God I adore. Thy body is my body's counterpart, whose every limb my answering limb desires, whose heart is key to all my heartbeats. This I am thou, this I am, and thou to me, O Satyavan. Our wedded walk through life begins anew. This is starting point now. No gladness lost, no depth of mortal joy. Let us go to this new world that is the same. Or it is given back, but it is known, a playing ground and dwelling house of God, who hides himself in bird and beast and man, sweetly to find himself again by love. That's the whole purpose, by love, by oneness. His presence leads the rhythms of life that seek for mutual joy in spite of pain. We have each other found. They did not know each other, but now we have found. We have each other found, O Satyavan, in the great light of the discovered soul. That is the new thing which has happened. Yes, we have found, we knew each other, but now in the light of the discovered soul, our soul now has won the identity with the Supreme. In that identity with the Supreme, we are now seeing each other differently. We are discovered with each other. Let us go back, for Eve is in the skies. Now grief is dead, and serene bliss remain, the heart of all our days forever more. Let us quickly read this part. Lo, all these beings in this wonderful world, let us give joy to all, for joy is ours. For not for ourselves alone our spirits came. She is reminded of her work, why they had come together. Out of the veil of the unmanifest, out of the deep, immense, unknowable, on the ignorant breast of dubious into the ways of laboring, seeking men, two fires that burn towards that parent sun. So they are the two fires which are burning together toward the sun in sunlight. Two rays that travel to the original light to lead man's soul towards truth and God, we are born. She is very clear about her mission. What for we are here? To lead man's soul towards truth and God. It is for that purpose we are taken this birth. To draw the checkered scheme of mortal life into some semblance of the immortal's plan, to shape it closer to an image of God, a little nearer to the idea divine. That is the purpose of our coming together. Well, we'll see it again next time, but let me go back to this one particular line, one particular description.
She is also very happy.
Pardon?
She is also very happy that now that whole thing is over,
Yeah.
that Satyavan has to die.
Yeah.
So now she found,
New,
life.
we had discovered
Now she looks forward to a
future.
future with
Yeah.
him. Before it was always, oh my God,
That's
he will
right.
die, how terrible. and
Yeah.
she has to
Yeah.
prepare for the death.
In fact, that is the thing which has come to her after meeting the Supreme. Until then, her entire task was to remove who was standing in between him and the Supreme. That has gone. Now the whole thing unfolds. That's right. Yeah, that's so happy, correct. Now, this one is important. Let me just quickly say, heaven's touch fulfills but cancels not for earth, our earth. That we have already seen. But here, our bodies need each other in the same lust. This is a little different kind of a line. Our bodies are lust and they need each other. Now, what does that mean? Before we see that, this word lust is there in Shrivindu's own hand. Lust in the manuscript. But the way this A is written, it could be read as you. If you want to kind of stretch your imagination, that A could be, if at all you want to force your argument, read as you. So our bodies need each other in the same lust, which is absolutely horrible. Absolutely. And that is exactly what was proposed in the revised edition, to change lust to lust. Lust to lust. And say, see, the lust is not so clear, say it could be you, see, that kind of an argument was there. See. In fact, it is there in the Archives Journal. They have made this suggestion, it's in the print in the Archives Journal, 1986, I think, where lust is put as lust in the final version. But when this was being revised, all the suggestions were being scrutinized, at that time we had to fight it out. And see, it cannot mean that lust is absolutely out of the question here. Absolutely, you see. Then the question is, what is that lust? What does that line lust mean? Our bodies need each other in the same lust. What does that mean? Now, lust is basically a cobbler's mold for shaping shoes. Cobbler's mold. Cobbler's mold. Cobbler. See, they prepare shoes and they have got some kind of a cast around which the shoe is molded. And that is called lust. That is called lust. That problems. So therefore we need in that kind of a caste mold for each other. My body is cast in your mold, your body is cast in my mold. Huh? So we have to find it out. Now I will read that description here also, what we have got on the internet. A lash is a mechanical form that has a shape similar to that of a human foot. Mechanical cast of the shape of a human foot. It is used by shoemakers and cordwainers in the manufacture and repair of shoes. So you give the shape according. Means you hang out that iron cast or whatever it is, and then you put the leather in such a way, hammer it, and let it set, and take that shape. Shoemaker, yes, right. Yeah. And manufacture and repair of shoes. Shoes also repaired that way only by putting the shoe. Last typically come in pairs, left and right, obviously. Pair. And have been made from various materials, including hardwood, cast iron, and high density plastics. Yeah, high density plastics. Modern, of course, now for the manufacture of shoes on a large scale, you can't use ordinary mold, because if you start hammering, you'll get worn out. You'll get so they have got very special kind of cast for that. Modern lash shapes are typically designed using dedicated computer-aided design software. So that is how you design. You see, for instance, now the runner, he uses shoe for a certain purpose. So it is designed, computerized, and given that shape, that form, that padding, whatever is required, and then the shoe is cast that way on a manufacturing scale. You see, so that is the last.
But the end could not be a C.
Yeah.
In the same caste.
Yeah.
Or bodies with each other.
So my body is your caste, your body is my caste. I shape my body in your mold. You shape my body in my mold. Such an intimacy of oneness on a physical plane. On a physical plane. Our bodies need, they are complementary for each other in the same lust. So that is the greatness of lust. So say in the archived journal it is lust. In the revised edition of Savitri it is lust. If you see the revised edition, it is lust.
That's why you